What's going on, everybody? This is James Grandmaster Facts Boyce, and you are here for another episode of the Facts Project. Today, special guest, first time on the program, Jeff Schiller. We're here to talk about the Public Defender Anthology, as well as many of his other projects, because I got a few of them right here behind me. Magic Powder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is coming out soon.
Yep.
And of course, you may know him from Elf with No Name. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm seeing a lot of New York here, man. This is a lot of New. This is a lot. I mean, I'm in Jersey, but you know,
Yeah, see, and I'm from Jersey, so I hear you.
hey, I know I get it.
Yeah.
North Jersey,
Yeah, I'm from North Bergen.
North Jersey. See, I'm South Jersey. I'm Atlantic City.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's hella South Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So I'm guessing you're like a Philly fan or something?
No,
Oh, thank
I'm a
God.
Giants fan, and I'm not. The thing is, I'm a Sixers fan. No, that's the only thing.
Oh, shit. So you are a little bit of a Philly fan. Okay.
A
Okay.
little bit. That's it. Just the one team. Iverson did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say AI. I love AI. So who didn't? So I can't say nothing about that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Georgetown too. I love me some
yeah, when
AI,
he played
man.
for Georgetown, that was it, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
But to get right into it, I've known the two main IP projects that you've done so far with Magic Powder and Elf with No Name, and then you decide a little bit of a curveball. You throw in an anthology based on a almost I'm gonna say a ragtag character that people
Totally.
wouldn't perceive as a superhero, and don't you dare tell him he's a superhero because throughout this entire anthology of what the samples have shown, he doesn't even like to be called that
No,
whatsoever.
definitely.
So,
Yeah.
so, so when did this come about?
The Public Defender, originally the idea for the character came to me, I don't know, around the time I graduated high school, like '04, '05, '06, around that area. And I was originally going to write it, actually I did write it as like like a movie screenplay, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I tried it a couple different ways. Like I tried it as like a Adult Swim kind of like cartoon pilot script, stuff like that. And it's just like, I always wrote screenplays. I never really had like collaborators for comics. So like every time I ever tried to like work with an artist and stuff I met in Vegas and stuff like that, it never really got done. So like all my comic ideas were different than my movie ideas and stuff. But eventually I was sitting in the shower. I just got back from Florida in June. I was like maybe the day before June, so the end of May, whatever.
Hmm.
And I had went to Eastern Conference Finals, the NHL Eastern Conference Finals, to see the Rangers and the Panthers. And the Rangers lost the second game. I went there. They won the first game, lost the second game. So I was in the shower right before game five, I guess, before and I was in the shower and I was thinking about like how much I hate like a certain player on the team and how the coach is going to play this guy and we're going to lose the fucking playoffs. And I was like, I knew we were going to get eliminated because of this one fucking player. So I was like, what are you going to do? And I wrote my first ever like one-page script, and it was about how like being a sports fan and like other sports fans will tell you like, oh, this is what I think they should do, or this is what, and it's like, bro, just watch the fucking game, shit like that. But then it's like at the end, I'm that guy. I'm like, oh, they got to do this, they got to do, you know what I mean? So it's like just how big of a hypocrite I am as a sports fan and stuff like that. So that's where the original Public Defender comic script came from. And yeah, I wrote it. I just posted online. I was like, anyone want to do a one pager on my Twitter? And then Nima Sorad, he hit me up. He's a Hello Berlin on there at Hello Berlin, and he's like, I'll do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And his style is crazy. He's got like a kind of a like a grittier looking style, like stuff like that, kind of similar to Adrian, who also does some comics on here.
Yep.
But yeah, it was cool. So it was the first time we worked together and stuff like that. But yeah, I was excited just to get something out. So Public Defender is also like you said, it's a superhero thing kind of thing, and it's also mixed with like a self-insert kind of thing. Like if you ever read American Splendor or anything like
Yeah.
that, where Harvey
There's a lot
Picar
of
is like,
satire.
yeah, that too. Yeah, satire, making fun of my own self, making fun of other people, making fun of superheroes, just anything really. Batman, like there's a Batman joke, stuff like that.
Hmm. Word, because for the most part, I mean, I guess as far as like just indie comics as a whole, not a lot of people do the whole capes and cows thing. Everybody kind of has like their own direction, and they kind of like pick other genres rather than just sticking with the superhero brand. So it it's kind of fitting the fact that you basically like built this up. It's almost built like a comic strip. They're all written by you, but with different perspectives from every single artist.
Totally. And it's like the whole idea from that once again comes from like Harvey Picar and American Splendor, because when I was growing up, the movie came out with Giamatti and Harvey Picar himself playing himself and stuff like that. And that's
Hmm.
kind of how I was exposed to it. And then my dad told me, he's like, "Oh yeah, this guy used to come on Letterman all the time and shit." So that's what got me into like American Splendor. And like, his whole thing was like he would just find different artists too. Like he had Art Crumb and then all these other different artists. And it's like, but the most famous one is the guy who did he has his own documentary and stuff, Crumb and stuff. And he's played by Bob Odenkirk in the movie, who is one of my favorite actors and stuff like that. But so
Or
anyway, like yeah, basically it just came to me like, you can have different artists draw the same character and they can look different and people still know it's the same character. So that's like where I knew like the precedent has been set like that. So I
yeah,
was like, all right, I'll just let everybody do their own thing. And it's like I drew the character design, I gave it to everybody, and they all like, took it their own way, So it was kind of fun to see like, which and then you can see like later on as there's been like now there's like we're up to like 16 stories or whatever. Like
yeah.
certain people are definitely like taking the idea of like someone else's look and kind of working on that.
I
And then
see
yeah.
that.
Mm.
Because like if I'm looking at like the earliest well first off let's get to the cover first because I like how it's like was it like the Deadpool beats the Marvel Universe type cover drawn by Gerald von Stoddard.
Yep, Gerald, yeah,
Color,
he rules.
colors by Guillermo Lindenberg Mendez.
Yep, and that's one of Gerald's friends, so he hooked us up.
Yeah, and yo, you just that's a cool ass cover. I mean, it's a classic cover. I mean, I've seen it done a couple times, so this is actually like really cool how it was basically set up.
Yeah, he nailed it too, and it's like one of those things. Like I haven't seen the Deadpool version of it, but I'm sure he's done it. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely that kind of thing where it's like a fourth wall breaking, like a joke kind of thing. But he was in a Discord talking about like I have a good deal on covers for indie artists stuff like that. If anyone has any ideas, so I hit him
Yeah,
up. And he was like, okay, because I had an idea because there's a band called Annual Notice by the Trail of Dead, and they have like some crazy like art on their album covers and stuff. But
yeah,
one of them's kind of like just like a whole like pile of dead bodies, kind of like on a road kind of thing, like a medieval time, even further back than medieval even. But so it's kind of like that idea. I just want to have like a whole. So like in my mind, it was like going to be a road leading up to the pile. But the
right.
way Gerald drew it, it was just like it was easier from that perspective to just do the whole pile thing. And then, I had some ideas of which characters to put in, and then he put some other characters in that I like and stuff. So it worked out great. Like I love how it came out.
Now, anthologies, of course, have like their plethora of like artists. Being how everything's written by you, like pretty much give us the rundown of the art team.
Okay, so like I don't have it right in front of me. Let me pull it up real quick. But basically, like we have basically all the artists I've ever worked with. Like I try to get Danielle on here too. He still might do some pages, but since Magic
Yeah,
Powder #6 isn't done yet, I told him, just focus on that. I'll get Poke Defender figured out and
yeah.
everything like that. So we have from the Elf with No Name, we have Jeff Fulsham, who he does all the art for Elf with No
F
Name,
with
which
no
I love.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, you love working with him. He's the one that does the like is there a superhero on board, and then he'll also have another 3-pager at the end that I'm not going to show everybody, but it's
Uh-huh.
basically like the origin story of the Public Defender. I want to save that for the print.
You
And
mean when
then
he actually gets bit? Because we're gonna get into that later.
yeah, yeah, totally, like yeah. And like you'll see like in his memories now, because it's kind of all from his perspective, so one of the side effects of being bitten by a radioactive lawyer is all his memories have been like deformed into like now he looks like himself in all his memories. You know what I mean? Like he ages in his own memories. So like even in his high school memories, he has the full beard and all the hair and stuff
Yeah.
because his mind's just messed up that way and stuff. So
Me, I thought that was basically like chronological order. I thought like pretty much because when he's on the plane, he has like a 5 o'clock shadow, but when he's like in high school, he's got a full on beard. I'm like, yo, did he have like a full on beard in high school and then they started cutting it down when he got older?
well, in real life, I had like a more of like a giant sideburns that almost were a beard. I didn't have a full beard yet in high school, and well, I guess at the end of high school I probably did, but not at fucking 14 though, at 2000 or whatever when the
Ah.
first one is. But so the idea, like I said, is more just kind of like mentally. But there's another comic my buddy Philip did, Phil Quick. And it's called The Hair Cycles of the Public Defender, and it kind of goes over like why he always looks different and stuff like that. Because I have a thing where it's like I'm always trying to grow out my hair. I'm always trying to grow out my beard and try all these different
Mhm.
things. And then at the end, I always just shave it all the fuck off and just go back to the beginning. You know what I mean? It always happens. So it's like that's kind of where it's at. So like you'll see different versions of my beard, or you'll see my hair in different forms. So it's the same thing with Public Defender. It's just kind of that kind of thing.
Right, right. So I have it up here. Was it Nemosaurate,
Yeah, we got
Ignacio Di Meglio, Jeff Folsom,
yeah,
David Lujan,
yeah,
uh,
David.
Yep.
We got Jenny Fleming, Adrienne Claire, Claire V. Gray, and this is
Yep.
the first time she's ever worked on a comic. She's really stoked. She's a great
Ever?
portrait artist. Yeah, she's always well, she does like kind of her own Sims kind of comics. So
Okay.
like she'll take like her own characters from the Sims and like make comics out of them, and she draws it and stuff. But it's more like based on the Sims art and stuff. So this is the first time she's working with like another writer to work on a comic and stuff. So she was stoked to work with me on that, and like her comic is based on a very specific American Splendor comic. So it's like a cool little crossover. We got Lucas Colbell, we got Colton Mastic, Luca Cicchiti, Phil Quick, who I mentioned, Flops, my
Flops.
man. Yeah, Flops rules. I try to get Flops on everything I do now. Like he's fun to work
To
with.
be honest, it's kind of fitting for what you're doing.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing with like him. I seen him posting like corner boxes of superheroes like before I
Yeah.
even started the Public Defender scripts. So like as soon as I started this, I was like, I knew I needed a Flops corner box for
And he
like
has
the
like
Public
he
Defender.
has a retro style to him.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I mean, I know he can do other things, but like, yeah, he's known especially for that retro style. So yeah, Flops we got in there. We got Gerald, like you said, Guillaume.
The cover art.
Uh Angelo, he worked with Luca to do the like lettering and stuff and the color, so they work together. And then my sister Raven, she's doing the logo for the Public Defender. So like the cover's not done yet because she had to get a new computer and stuff like that. So I think she got all that set up, so she's gonna be able to finish that. So well, I'll hopefully get the cover completely done with the corner box and the logo up on the page before the campaign's done. We still got 2 weeks, so it should be fine.
Right. So wait, your sister does some of the art on your books? Like, is this the first
Oh
time
yeah.
she does it, or she's
No,
always
no,
done
no.
it?
Yeah, actually, like if you look behind you, like all the comics, it says Schiller twice. Like if you lift up, see the bottom names.
Yeah.
So she's the second Schiller. So it's like, yeah, it'll be like she does the logo for Magic Powder. She did the logo for the Elf with No Name. She does the
Oh,
thank you pages. She did the Fez report pages. She does all that kind of stuff. So any graphic design stuff, like I don't know how to do any of that. So Raven does it all. So yeah, she's money on that. But yeah, the Magic to Powder logo, that's all her. Like yeah.
so wait, the Grand Theft Auto one, that was her idea?
No, that was well, that was my idea, but actually that was Matt's drawing.
Okay.
So he did like all that art is him. So she didn't do the logo for that one, but just the actual Magic Powder logo was hers. It's
Gotcha.
like also the Pulp Fiction one, like Flops, he did that one. Like Raven didn't do the Magic Powder logo on that one. Flops is really good at doing the graphics too, like with his art, so it's really great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And
but yeah,
so
so yeah, my sister has been on all of them so
that's
far.
what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's up. Like, look, man. I mean, I guess I'm not going to say it's not rare, because I've seen a lot of people utilize their immediate family to help them with their books, especially in the indie world and everything like that. But yo, that's cool as hell. The
yeah.
fact that she like wants to do it.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, exactly. And she's all happy. Like when Flops did the Magic Powder cover, the Pulp Fiction one, there's like a Fez report on the bed or whatever. So like, her design, she designed the whole Fez report like cover. So she was stoked about that to have like Flops draw her cover on that cover. So yeah, she's all about it too. So that's cool. It's just like, she has had like a shitty computer for last for a while actually. So
Yeah,
she's pretty stoked to finally have one that's gonna like, not a laptop and all this stuff. She got the desktop hooked up. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she comes up with now.
yeah. I'm about to say, I'm surprised she doesn't have like people reaching out to her to try and get her artwork done on their stuff.
Yeah, sometimes she does, but it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, she usually just turned it down because she didn't feel like she had the ability to do it now, but now she probably can do more stuff. So that'll be good.
But you got an in-house artist.
Oh yeah. Literally in my apartment. Yeah, I just walk from my room straight across the hall and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, how's this coming out? Like, yeah. So that's always nice. Like originally, like when I started Magic Powder, she was in Jersey still and I was out here.
Right.
But last year she moved in with me. So like, yeah, now it's even easier.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So to get into these storylines here, of course, we talked about them in like a comic strip form and the way that they're basically built up of satire and everything. Did you feel compelled to do everything differently,
Yeah,
all
kind of
while
always.
sticking to the formula?
Yeah, kind of like that's kind of just how I always feel as a writer. Like I always kind of want to see what I can do that hasn't been like my whole idea is like even Magic Powder. It's like I felt like it was something that hadn't been done yet. Elf with No Name I wanted to get onto because I didn't think it had been done yet either. And I felt like with
Yeah,
Magic Powder, someone would be inspired to do Elf with No Name, so I had to beat them to that. And
yeah,
then with the Public Defender, I felt like I don't know, because like you said, indie comics, it's not big on superheroes and stuff like that. But there is definitely this like weird audience where it's like we all grew up with indie comics,
yeah,
and a lot of my audience I feel like is the same age as me, like around 30s and like pushing 40, stuff like that. So like I don't know, I guess it's more like yeah, I guess it was not so much to do something different. I mean, it was that, but it was also just like see if people, anyone out there got my sense of humor. You know what I mean? Because most of my comics are pretty straightforward. Like, they're serious. They got some jokes, kind of, but like this is more of less like a comedy. Like, having a good time, goofing
I
around,
think
being a
so.
stoner. Like because another thing I feel like there's not a lot of stoner comics in the indie comic community. And
No.
as a stoner, I'm like, we gotta get some pothead characters out here. So
So
that's where
so
I'm
he yeah, I'm about to say because he's got a collection of friends and foes. Godman who showed it's funny because okay, Godman and then you got his ex-girlfriend Buzzkill. But Godman shows up in a couple of these strips and just a sample footing where one he looks Hispanic and the other one he does not.
Yeah, he's originally I told the artist to make him look like Aaron Judge. So that's like the very first one like Jeff does. He's
Oh,
supposed
that's
to look
great.
like Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously like a take like a mix of that with whatever I drew. I was like, So yeah, he's Godman is based on Aaron Judge just on the fact that, he's a gigantic human being and he's just, he's also like multiracial. So it's like, what is Aaron Judge? Like that kind of thing. So I like
Uh-huh.
thought that would work. But then yeah, Jenny's Godman definitely looks a lot more like Superman than like Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, Godman is definitely like a spoof on Superman, so I don't really mind it. And it's another one of those like how a person takes like I want to see the artist takes on it and stuff like that. But like yeah, to me, he's supposed to look more like like a Jeter Judge type, like color.
Yeah.
Like you said, I guess Latino. Like that's the thing. You're not really supposed to be able to tell what he is. Like he's just a mix of everything, kind of, because he's like a human being, like that kind of character. But like yeah, like it is true though. Like he looks just like goddamn. Which one is it? It's the Bat Pig. Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks so much.
he
Yeah,
looks like
let's
Clark Kent.
yeah, he got the slick back hair and everything.
Huh?
So like yeah, so I mean that's just her taking it because her style is also old school and stuff like that. But it's like I'd ever give artists really too much feedback on it. I'm just like, here it is and do what you want to do kind of thing. Because like I don't know, like especially with this, it's not like Magic Powder where I need things to look a specific way and everything. Like this is
Yeah.
more of like a punk rock, like what the fuck do you want to do kind of thing, mixed with my shit. So like it's just that
Right.
collaboration. So like yeah, I like that she did it that way and stuff like that. But like yeah, to me more so, he's supposed to look like how he looks in the Hero on Board. And how he looks in the one that Ignacio did, where he dies and he goes into limbo, stuff like
Oh
that.
my
Like
God.
where his hair is more of like a poof kind of
Right.
thing, like how the judge has like that kind of hair like
Yep.
that generation, those 20-year-olds, they have that kind of like poofy hair all the time. Like all these athletes have that
Like they
fucking
didn't
haircut
know how to
now.
get a proper shape up. It's just
Yeah, and then yeah, it's like yeah, it's so weird. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe they think it looks cool. I don't know. But yeah, so Godman's there like that.
yeah, to be honest, I want to know like how the hell in knock of the back pig, how did they get this like this feel to it? The paper and everything, like how that looks like an old school feel, like it's a Silver Age comic.
That you'd have to ask Jenny, obviously. That's her style and stuff, but it does look great. And I
Yeah.
have her doing another comic on just another one pager, so she'll be in here again, unless things fall through right now because she's been busy moving to another country and stuff. But I think we'll be fine. She said she should be able to do it, so it's only one page, and it should be done by February. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I would say if you like that, I would say hit her up, and if you ever want to like get some work done or whatever, because she's got her own thing going
That's dope
on.
how she did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like flops in that way where like they have like that old school style.
word. And in basically even in this particular comic, Public Defender is in a garage band and he's got it's
Yes.
literally his even his landlord is a superhero
Yeah, he's just a super laner. He's got powers, but he's not really a hero, you know. He's just a dickhead.
until he
But yeah.
realizes that he actually has a good lawyer and then he's like, yeah, yeah, you're okay. Yeah, play till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking asshole. But yeah, and even the Bat Pig, like obviously it's like a joke about Batman being a cop or something like that, or a yuppie and all this. But he's
Mhm.
also his colors are like he's brown like that because he's supposed to be dressed like a Las Vegas police, Metropolitan Police. Like that's why they got that sand fucking colored uniform. So yeah, that's fucking Bat Pig for you. So it's one of those things. Like I always, you always hear people joking about like, why doesn't Bruce Wayne do this with his money? Why doesn't Bruce Wayne do this with his money? So like Bat
Right.
Pig's kind of like if Bruce Wayne was just a piece of shit landlord.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
So there's even a little bit of body horror in the character. So Public Defender, like, if you want to bring up the origin story and basically what happens to him, tell that story.
so basically he was bitten by a radioactive lawyer. That's the joke. Instead of a radioactive spider and getting like
Yep.
spider powers, he got bit by a radioactive lawyer. And he basically just got a bunch of random side effects, like, his eye band, like, it's kind of like a Ninja Turtle inspiration kind of thing, but it's stuck to his face. His like uniform, like his outfit, it looks like, like a superhero outfit, but it's actually his skin. So if he even puts on like a shirt or a hoodie over it, like the PD comes through his shirt and stuff like that. Like it just, that's like part of the effects
Automatic.
of it. Yeah, like yeah, he can't help it. Like if he wears a Nick shirt, it'll just like turn into a PD shirt, like stuff like that. Like it's just part of like I don't know if it's magic really, it's part of the side effects. So the lawyer that bit him, his name is Hyman Spiderman. So it's like kind of like a joke, like Spider-Man, that kind of thing. So like
Right.
it's radio, so we'll see him showing up, and like that's all based on like a trip I took to St. George as a kid, and getting a ticket from a bike cop in Utah, and dealing with a bunch of fucking Utah people, and that's like that's all where that came from, and then just added some superhero shit into that.
I'm about
But
to say,
yes,
man, Mormon cops. That could be a comic of
oh
its own,
man.
man. Come on.
Only time I ever got any kind of problem with a cop was these fucking Mormon bike cops with the shorts on. It was like fucking 20 degrees outside. I'm like, bro, and it was two cops, but in the story it's just gonna be one. But so the one guy's talking to my buddy Matt, and the other one's talking to me, and I'm like, bro, this is some nice shorts. Can I get a pair of those? Just bringing
At
his
20
balls.
degrees, they got shorts
Oh,
on.
it's so cool. That's what I tell him too. I'm like, bro, they don't give you sweatpants out here. He's like, oh no, it's good for the body. I'm like, bro, you're younger than me. I'm like 19 at the time. He must have been like 21 or something. This guy, the other guy had to be 30 or so. But yeah, it's just hilarious. These motherfuckers. And it was like, what happened was originally like this night or whatever. So we drove all the way to Utah from Vegas to see this band Piebald, and me, my buddy Matt, my buddy Houston, I think we were with Sam or Kirk or something, maybe all five of us. We were
Right.
all there. We were all walking in, and then some Mormon people were like, "Hey, y'all want some beers?" And so we had some beers with these people, and then we're all walking in, and Matt's like, "I'm gonna have to smoke a cigarette," and I don't smoke cigarettes, but I was like, "I'll chill with Matt out here." And the motherfucking bike cop comes up on us, and Matt's black, of course, so that's the first thing they seen. And then they stop, and they're like, you guys old enough to smoke cigarettes? And I'm like, bro, I don't even smoke cigarettes. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he started IDing Matt, and apparently you have to be 19 to smoke cigarettes and not 18. And Matt was 18 at the time, and I was 19. So then they said I contributed the tobacco to him, and they wrote me a ticket for giving him
Like,
the
oh my
cigarettes.
gosh.
Hey, I was like, what the fuck? And then they gave us like a breathalyzers to prove we were drinking and all this shit. It was a whole fucking thing, bro. And then
I can see where the comic strips just come to life. See, stories like that will just build all this up.
no, definitely, bro. Like, and it's like this was how many years ago now? It's been 20 years basically. So, it's still in my head a little bit, but it's the only time like, like I said, like a cop really ever broke my balls or gave me a ticket, or I had to go back to like do the court case and all this other
God,
bullshit. Like, and
man,
so yeah, it's all just kind of like a take on that, and that's your, how a villain origin story. This is kind of that.
word. And even a part of the Kickstarter package, you actually have sketch cards.
Yep. Yep.
See,
So
not a lot
like
of people do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you could probably do these on the fly just to
yeah,
add to the
mostly. Yeah,
package.
totally. And it's like they're good. Like when you do one, you can just post it on like, Twitter and Instagram. So it gives you an extra, social media post too. But yeah, originally I just did these because my buddy Steven Lolito, who does Jesus Christ, Box Boy and Whiskers,
Mhm.
he does this at like conventions. He's a writer like me, but he'll do like sketch cards at conventions. And it just gave me that idea. I was like, all right. And I've tried it before. Like I think it was Magic Powder issue 3 or one
Mhm.
of the Magic Powder issues. I was like, you can get a sketch card by me, and
Yeah,
nobody backed that shit. So I was like, I didn't even have to do one. But this time I actually drew some ahead of time, and some people have actually. Well, I know the Charlie Brown one. I haven't looked if
I'm
any of
about
the
to
other
say
ones have been done.
somebody's got to request the one that says all soups are cops.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. It didn't come out great, but he kind of looks like my buddy Matty, which is hilarious. So I kind of like it. Let me see if anyone got the sketch cards so
Or,
far.
or the one with the glasses with the they live alien inside the glasses.
That one's awesome too. Yeah. So far the only one that anyone bought was the Peanuts one. Like so the one with BUZZKILL with the football and Public Defender about to kick the football. So yeah, all those other ones are still available. They're $15 each. It's more just like in case anyone wanted to be like a, bigger backer and like one issue, you only
Yeah,
have so many things you can offer. So I was like, what else can I offer? And there's also the option for like a random sketch card. Like if you have an idea that you want me to draw a Public Defender that I haven't drawn yet, you can just back that one and hit me up. Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, hell
Now,
yeah. So.
now here's the other thing. It's an anthology. You got about
Mhm.
16 stories in here.
Yep.
So, like, how big is this book?
Yeah, it's just gonna be like a regular comic size, book. It's like mostly like 1 page, 2 page stories. There'll be a
Okay.
3 pager.
So it's
There's a
still like a
four.
23 to 26 page book altogether.
Yeah, it'll be 24 right now. We have stretch goals that'll push it up to like around 30. Like so I will have like extra like I have like two more stories I would like to do, but I don't know if we're gonna reach those stretch goals. But if we do hit like, basically if we hit like what we hit on Magic Power, like 6,000 or so,
Yeah.
I'll add some more pages and we'll get a little bigger. And I have like the artists already ready lined up and stuff. So
So, hey, all to it because I'm about to say there's about like 17 days left in the campaign, so you got a little over 2 weeks in order to basically like get this thing funded. But
Yeah, hell yeah.
wanted to also bring up the fact these. So this has been your baby. This was kind of how I got introduced to you and everything like that. So being as how you're in Vegas, you bring up a story that adds a little bit of a casino gangster element to a group. Well, I ain't even gonna say a group, a whole conglomerate of elves, and how this is basically like bolstered over. When this storyline came up, I mean, you live in Vegas now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, being how long you been out there?
I moved out here originally in 1989.
Really? No
Yeah,
kidding.
I moved back a little bit, but mostly
Okay.
I've been here. Yeah.
So I can imagine like I guess being down there since '89, that kind of like was a derivative of how this story was going to get wrote.
Yeah, Vegas is definitely a big inspiration because I feel like it doesn't get used very much in other things, and I
It
feel like,
doesn't.
especially the off-strip type Vegas shit, you know what I mean? Like even the way people talk and stuff like that, like in Magic Powder is probably a little bit more Vegas than anywhere else.
The old
Um,
strip. What do you think? Is there an accent in Vegas?
No, it's not so much an accent. It's just more the words we use and stuff. Like certain people, like you know what I mean. Like if you're in New Jersey, you don't hear the word "hello" too much. But when I was growing up out
No,
here, everyone's like "hello this,
that
hello
is a
that."
West Coast thing.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean. So this is random shit. Even like y'all, like the very first line of Magic Powder, he's like y'all take trades or whatever, and it's like in New Jersey, people don't really go around saying y'all really. So it's just
Nah.
like shit like that. It's just like a weird mix. Vegas. It's kind of like everywhere. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, because I'm from Jersey, and it's like someone else is from Buffalo, and then someone else is from like straight up Mexico, and then someone else is from
True.
Cali and someone else is from Portland. So yeah, so Vegas kind of got like a cross section of everything, which kind of is what Magic Powder is too. In a lot of ways, it's like my favorite things all put together. It's like Shadowrun meets The Godfather meets
That's what I
Sopranos
was about
meets
to
The
say. There's
Wire
a lot of
meets
criminal underworld in as well as Vegas ties to this.
and
And
it's funny because you say the Vegas thing. So it's only hinted at so far, but there's a town called Souvenir City, and that's gonna be basically like Vegas and New York kind of put together. Even it's maybe even like more like some foreign cities and stuff. But so essentially, it's gonna be like where the casinos are and stuff like that. So the third arc will be heavily focused in Souvenir City, and there will be a giant casino heist using magic and dwarves and all kinds of shit. So I'm really excited about the third arc. I've been, that's who the band that's been like robbing drug dealers, like that's
yeah,
kind of where that's building up to. So they're gonna do a giant fucking casino heist in the third arc.
well, now with basically all right. So you're saying in the third arc. So the second arc is pretty much done with issue 6. Am I correct?
Issue six will be the end of the first arc.
End of the
So the
first arc.
yeah,
So
the
that
second arc
means
will
this
be
is how far you've gotten.
I got it planned at least 6 arcs right now. The problem is, the art takes a little bit of time, and I don't know really. Like Danielle hasn't really been great on communicating why that is this year. Like he was so much slower and stuff. So
Mhm.
we'll see what's up when he finishes issue six. We'll talk about it. Maybe fix things up, see what happens. But yeah, the second arc will be issues 7, 8, 9, and 10. It'll be like a 4 issue arc, kind of quick, kind of it's gonna be more like a Pulp Fiction snatch kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like real
Yeah.
quick. A lot of people, crossing over, seeing what's happening, and then yeah, then the third arc will be more of like kind of wrapping up a lot of these characters' arcs and moving on to what the fuck else is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, because Magic Powder to me is more about like the whole world. It's not really like each character
Yeah.
is cool and I love all the characters, but the main character is the world. Like so you don't know who's gonna survive. You don't know who the main character is. There's not no plot armor. I don't because there was a part of one of the arcs I had planned out. And I'm like, this guy gets away, he'll come by and do this and this and this. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, wait, it doesn't really make sense that he would live from this one altercation. So I'm like, never mind, he's dead. So like, yeah, when I get to that point, a certain character is gonna die, and I'm like, I kind of am looking forward to showing people that scene, and like, yeah, I just love like planning out. Man, Magic Powder is definitely my baby. Like you said, like that's my favorite thing to make,
Right.
and like I love showing it to people, and it's the easiest thing to pitch because like everything everybody thinks is cool is in there. Like it's like all this really cool shit. So it's like yeah, it's just pretty easy. Like that's why we get the most backers on that compared to the other ones and everything else. So.
Yeah, because I think you kind of get the notion that nobody's safe in these books, and you kind of write it that way. So I'm figuring, and of course, with Elf with no name, it's kind of like I don't know. I always thought that there was a connection.
Oh yeah, there's a huge connection. It's the same world and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Elf and Unnamed takes place around 200 years in the past, so you won't see
I
too
was
many
figuring like
characters.
old Wild West, basically before the town was brought up.
Yeah, definitely. And like the place that the Elf with No Name takes place in actually is not a place. during Magic Powder. So you're gonna find out why that is, and you're gonna find out a couple other things. It's also gonna explain why Magic isn't as popular as it should be in a world like that. Like, why isn't everybody using Magic? Why can't I? You know what I mean? Like, so there's actually an explanation for that in the Elf with No Name, and then, but like, yeah, overall the difference is like. The Elf with No Name has a main character, obviously, and it's a little like so. It's more of like an adventure type, like a manga or like Dragon
Yep.
Ball following Goku, and a video game maybe that kind of thing where you like you
Definitely a
level
spaghetti
up.
western.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that too. Yeah, true. And it's like, that's the biggest influence obviously it was like Sergio Leone and shit like that. I love Clint Eastwood movies. Well, at
Mhm.
least the westerns and stuff. And then who else? I mean, a big one was Red Dead Redemption. Like, playing those games really,
That's
I
where
just
you feel
love
it
those.
because like the one of the covers that was basically brought out from like issue one, it gave that whole feel.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like specifically issue 2 by Ignacio, who did the Afterlife Public Defender comic. He did the Red Dead Redemption 2 cover for us, and he hit me up and was just like, "Hey, can I do a Red Dead cover?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah," because we had the GTA one that's behind you right there for Magic Powder.
Yep.
And then he was like, "Yeah, can I do the Red Dead one?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, you can." And that's the first time we worked together, and he just, yeah, he killed that shit, and I love it. And people like, when they walk by me at conventions, that's a real big eye catcher. Anyone who loves that game, they're just like, well, you got a Red Dead, and then the same thing with Grand Theft Auto and the Pulp Fiction ones. Like, and that's kind of what I was hoping for with the Public Defender cover with like all the superheroes on it. Like, oh, the Tick, or oh,
Yeah.
Juggernaut and shit. Like maybe like it'll draw people in that would regularly walk by my fucking table. You know what I mean? Oh, original shit, fuck that. But then they see something that's not original. Oh, nostalgia, and then you pull them in with the original afterwards. So
Mhm.
that's kind of my trick with getting new readers in public.
So I always ask everybody, like, what has say it's Magic Powder, say it's Elf with No Name. What has the reception been like since you started doing indie comics? When like I recently saw that you actually put something up. That was like it's funny that I got into the comic book business once the robots started to take over and started making comics.
Yeah, I posted that today. I was like, I didn't mean to time it where, billionaires are using shitty programs to pretend they're artists or whatever. But yeah, I mean, in some ways it'll work for me, I guess. But as far as like the reception, like Magic Powder, the very first page I ever posted was like, issue number one, page number one, where Breaker's skateboarding through Thez at the very beginning, and the art and the colors were done by, Danielle. And I posted that very first page, and I was originally just gonna kind of do like a short, like a issue zero kind of free thing. And the fucking people loved the very first thing I ever posted. And that reaction gave me a lot of hope. So I was like, all right, we'll just do it like a normal comic. And that's when I started the Kickstarter and everything. But I would say it's been a great reception, honestly. Like Magic Powder, everywhere I go, every time I talk to people about it, or I come on like a cool podcast like this where people have actually read it and stuff, it's like it's insane, honestly. Like people will tell me all these things like they think about it. And it's like, 10 years ago, nobody was hitting me up and telling me what they think about shit I wrote. So it's like, it's really cool to be at that point again, or,
Mhm.
finally, not again, really, but like finally at a point where people are like, they like what you write. They want to see what you got next. They like connect with it in certain ways. And so like Public Defender is like, me pushing that. Cause like Magic Powder was made with the mainstream ideas in mind. It was like,
Right.
Game of Thrones just totally failed. COVID was happening. I was like watching Fargo season 4. I'm like, this is a fucking giant piece of shit. And I was like, I'm not gonna sit around like because my big thing was like, every crime story in on Earth or whatever has kind of already been told. You know what I mean? So I was like, how can I take it a different way? So I was like, all right, so what if you take a bunch of magic and put it into crime, and then just like you got something going? And then I wanted to make my own world because I didn't want it to be humans. I'm so sick of humans all the time and everything. So I was like, this is like
Yeah.
Public Defender is the first thing that's like even human related that I've made.
You
Yeah,
created a fantasy tale with organized crime,
yeah, straight
built
up.
in a Vegas-like city. Like to
Yeah.
be honest, like if there was like a dry pitch, like that shit wins.
Yeah, dude. It was like, yeah, that's how I would pitch it. Like, I would tell people basically it was like Breaking Bad meets Game of Thrones, something like that. You know what I mean? Or I would say Lord of the Rings. It depends on like who the person I was pitching
Yeah.
it to was. Because certain people don't really care for like orcs and elves and stuff like that.
It
So I
was
knew,
yeah,
yeah,
what do you mean Breaking Bad and Lord of the Rings? How does that fit? It was like,
boom,
well,
yep. And those two things, like that just blows their mind when you say that. And then you start showing them pages, and then you hit them with that rest in peace page at the back, and you're like, yeah, this is how we get down every issue. Like, it's a big thing when I was growing up too. Like, we were watching The Sopranos, me and my dad, like as it was coming out.
yeah.
So it was probably like I was probably like end of middle school, high school watching Sopranos, and I think it ends like right after I graduated high school, basically around the time I was writing like Public Defender and shit. Um, But I remember every, week my dad would be like, "Oh, why are they gonna kill this guy? Why are they gonna whack this guy?" Stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I don't ever want people to feel like that with magic powder. Like when a guy's got to go, a guy's got to go. There ain't no fucking protecting him because he got
Yes.
to have another scene or something.
Nobody's safe.
Nope. And so like yeah, that's something I feel like is different than most fiction that you see out there. Because even like Squid Game, for instance, like player 456, he's gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like he has to make it. That's the story that's being told. So like it takes a little bit of the suspense out of it. And I love Hitchcock and I love suspense movies and shit like that. So it's like, I want everyone to be on the edge of their seat all the time. Like it's a thriller kind of thing. So like, yeah, anytime you do something fuck. Because another thing is too, I was watching, I don't even remember what it is, but I was watching something that I think it was The Penguin. And he got like kidnapped like 3 times in 2 episodes
He
by
did.
gangster ass motherfuckers, bro. And like the reality of it is, bro, if these people were rolling up on you, they ain't taking you to 4 different locations. Your ass is dead. That's it. You stole from me, you're dead. We're not picking you up, taking you here. Oh, he got away. Picking him up, taking him here. Oh, he got away. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, that
That's a
ain't
lot of
happening, goddamn.
transport.
It's so much, man. And he's a big fat piece of shit. You ain't gonna fucking do all that. So like, yeah, it's just bullshit. So like, yeah, magic powder. If you just dead, bro. We're taking your dead body somewhere else to dump it. But like, yeah, we're not gonna listen to you talk while we do it. Like, yeah, it's just one
Right,
of
right.
those things. So that killed me. And everyone's like, oh, I love the penguin. The penguin's so good. So I was like, all right. It just felt really corny to me, but all right. I guess, if you didn't grow up with The Sopranos and stuff, and this guy's copying The Sopranos, I guess it is good. But
Right.
to me, it was like really cheesy. It was another game, like no stakes at all. Like you knew the Penguin was gonna make it the whole time. You knew they
Yep.
weren't gonna kill off Kristen Milotti. Like, where was the stakes? What? Oh, brother Justin from Carnival, Clancy Brown. We all knew he was gonna die. Like
Yeah.
everyone, it's just.
I almost thought the kid was gonna make it.
Okay, that's the one stakes. I will
That's
say
the
that.
one.
But
I
like,
was
yeah,
like,
we didn't
I
know if he
thought he
would
was
make
going.
it or
I
not.
thought he was gonna make it.
I hoped he would,
Yeah,
man.
he had 7 more minutes, and he would have made the whole series.
Victor's ass, all he had to do was leave with his girlfriend at the bus when he took
That's
the
it.
car. His dumb
Come on.
ass came back the wrong way, and he came back fucking over like a mob boss. So like you already knew he was screwed because
Yep.
like you come over, you saved the penguin, but you also fucked over the Falcones and everybody else. So should
Pretty
have just
much.
went on that bus, buddy boy. Like yeah, so that was cool. At least they didn't cop out and like oh everybody survives, but the bad guys got to die too, not just the poor
Yeah.
kids. So whatever.
So at least, I mean, you talked about basically how the seriousness of Magic Powder and Elf with No Name, how that's brought out. Would you say that basically Public Defender is just more your personality?
Yeah, definitely. Public Defender is more like, yeah, more me. Like, yeah, because Magic Powder, it's like more morose and shit like that. I would say,
Mhm.
the satire aspect of Public Defender and just kind of like being a wise ass and like even like talking shit to people until they attack him and things like that. Like, like I'm definitely like an instigator more than anything.
You
So,
it looked
like,
like that. There was that one comic strip of him on the plane and everything like that, where he's like, "Look, I'm not a superhero." He's really he's trying to explain himself as calmly as he can, and then he gets attacked.
yep. Yeah, straight up by some old hippie. Like, yeah, it's hilarious. But like, yeah, and it's funny because I didn't even think about that too. But it's like, yeah, he gets attacked a few times. Now I think about because like obviously Bad Pig's ass attacks him. That guy on the airplane attacks him. Freaking, he's cleaning his bong, and the resin from his bong attacks him at one point.
Uh-huh. Like a
It,
symbiote.
yeah, totally. And that's another side effect of like being bitten by the radioactive lawyer. The lawyer attacks him. Yeah, there'll be a few. Yeah, so Poker Feder, it's not like. Because it's like I remember Harvey Pekar saying it's none of that macho bullshit he would say when he was talking about American Splendor, and
Yep.
it's like that, like Pug Defender's not about me going around like beating up people to make myself feel better or something like that. It's more like living with the fucking shit you hate is kind of more what it is. It's like there's nothing you can really do about it other than just live with it. So that's kind of what Public Defender's about. It's like yeah, this shit sucks and I hate the world I live in, but you got to participate.
You could definitely tell that, but at least he got friends.
Yeah, definitely,
One
and
that
that's
one that
yeah.
one that will basically kill him, send him to hell, and then bring him back to life.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, so I guess Public Defender has already died and come back to life. So I guess we did that already. So he has plot armor, obviously.
Yeah, and I guess it was just bored one day. We like, look, man, you're not God, and he was like, yeah, I am, and he was like, well, prove it.
Yeah, and that's because the Godman idea I've had probably since, like I said, it's at least been 20 years. But I was watching an episode of 30 Rock, and it's like a rewatch, kind of thing. And there's like a late season one where Alec Baldwin plays a cop who's also God. And then like Kenneth is watching this. He's like, why is he asking questions? He should know everything. He's God. And it's like, yeah, that kind of thing. So it's like him, public defender, more like breaking his balls. Like if you were God, you would know this. You know what I mean? And so this motherfucker gets annoyed with him, kind of, and he just so he attacks him too, I guess.
Yeah,
Everybody, yeah. So it's basically just public
everybody has
defender
a
pissing
means to
people off.
attack him. Damn.
Yeah, he's like, all right, you want to see, bitch? Bam, you dead. And now you're back. You're like, yeah. So
Damn.
yeah,
Well,
I love
hey,
it.
Jeff, I appreciate you doing this with me, man. So you got about what 17 days, as we said, left in the campaign.
Yeah.
So hey, good luck to you as far as like getting this thing funded. As far as like the anthology, you already passed the halfway mark.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. We're at 53% right now. And that's
yeah.
usually Kevin Joseph, who does Tart, he always says if you get to 50%, that's pretty much like a guarantee in Kickstarter. So hopefully he's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because once you get started down to ticking down to like those final days, it starts to speed up a lot quicker and everything like that too. And
Yes, sir.
when should we expect issue 6?
Right now, Daniel has 7 pages he needs to finish. I don't know when. Like he said, right now he's working on page 17. That was like a week ago. So hopefully by like tomorrow morning he'll hit me with that page. So I'm just it's basically been like a page a week right at this rate, and that's what he used to do all the time. So, but he's like as of 3 days from now, he's had this script for a whole year. I gave it to him on January 17th last year. So this
Wow.
is the longest he's ever taken. I know he's probably working on other things and stuff like that. But like I literally will ask him, bro, like what's up and stuff like that. And he'll be like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be done in September."
Yeah.
And then September will roll around. I'll be like, "Oh, what's up?" He's like, "Don't worry, I'll be done in November." And then November will roll around. He'll be like, and he used to hit these deadlines, so I don't know
Mm.
what's up. You know what I mean? And I'll even ask him, I'm like, "You good, man? Like, what's up?" And he'll just be like, "Oh, don't worry." And it's like, I am fucking worried, bro. This is like my career. You understand that,
Right,
right?
right,
Like you're
right.
you're holding our book hostage here. Like whatever, man. People already paid for it and stuff like that. I ran the campaign thinking you said whatever. So, as
Mm.
far as when it's gonna be done, I'm hoping it's done before Public Defender is done, so we can ship them all together. Because I know a lot of people are gonna, be back in both. So,
Yeah,
like, yeah, and so it's like, I'd like to get everybody like hooked up, because I won't run the Elf with No Name until Magic Powder is done at this point. Because like Public Defender, I had to run just because I spent a lot of money on it, and so I'm like, I gotta get some of that money back, and
yeah.
so that's that.
So
But
are
as far
you,
as
as far as like Magic Powder, since with issue 6, when it does get done, are you looking to basically like combine that into a trade?
Yeah, we'll probably do another one. We did volume one with issues one, two, and three. So I'll
Yep.
probably do a volume two with four, five, and six. Because there's a couple people I know for sure that are specifically just waiting for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably run like a little campaign. So like next campaign will probably be Alpha No Name 3. And then the campaign after that will probably be volume two. And that'll be like a more of a shorter, like, lower budget one, just trying to get it out there to those people. And then like, yeah, we'll go into hopefully I don't know when Magic Powder 7 will be. It depends, like if me and Danielle work on it together, if I got to find a new artist, stuff like that, what the
Mhm.
budget looks like, what their rates are, all these other things.
Right.
But yeah, but basically by next year, Magic Powder 7 will be running probably January. But I want to do a couple other comics before then. Like I want to do like a couple one shots that have nothing to do with Magic Powder that are just like a contained story. So I'll hopefully at least get one of those in this year. I have a Halloween one I want to do and non-Halloween one. So we'll see. And I'm like applying for grants and stuff. So if I get those, it'll help out and shit.
That's
So
what's up.
yeah, hell yeah. But
Excellent, man. Yo, well, good luck to you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you once again for joining me. Of course, this anthology has 17 days left, so there's more than 2 weeks. Of course, if you're not familiar with the campaign and you've heard this episode, please feel free to go out there and get that. I'm about to say you got some tiers out there that shoot. It's aside with the sketch cards that you can basically add bundles on, and if you even haven't had a chance to read Magic Powder or Elf with No Name.
yep, yep. We got $5 for digital, $10 for the digital physical combo, and then there's all kinds of stuff. Like you said, we have a catch-up package digitally, so you can get all my comics. We have a physical version of that. We have thank you page thing. So every time I do a comic on Kickstarter, I try to have a thank you page so people can throw a little extra money on there, get their name on the comic, stuff like that. But we also have the cameo package. So if like you want to be on the back cover with the public defender throwing up like the middle finger or whatever, we got that going on.
Yep,
We have a superhero version of that, which sold out. So I added like a more expensive version of that. If you missed it, you can get the late package, and you can be on the background. You can tell me what superpower you want, and Jeff is going to draw you in. And yeah, but like, and also if you say you miss like issue 4, but you have 5 and 6, you can get those as add-ons on in the back. So like, say you pick the public defender, you go to add-ons, you pick whichever Magic Powder, Elf with No Name comics you missed, and you just grab them, throw them on the add-ons. Boom, you're caught up.
Jeff, appreciate you being here, man. Thank you.
Hey man, I love it. Thanks for having me. I had a great time, and you guys all have a good one.
All right, man. So everybody here at the Facts Project, Jeff Schiller, Magic Powder, Elf with No Name, and Public Defender live on Kickstarter right now. So for everybody here at the Facts Project, we are out.